So yesterday we built the entry signals in BloodHound, and today, we're just going to wrap this up by creating an order set, a real simple order set. So in BlackBird here, you see we have a market entry, then we have a stop loss that has a break even, and also an exit rule, or basically a flatten rule here as well. We have a flatten rule there that to occur, and of course, this close below the EMA 8 would be for a long trade, and then a simple profit target. So this won't take very long to get through. Right, this is just kind of run-of-the-mill stuff. So first thing I need to do is let's get BlackBird up and running. So we're going to go to the strategies window. In the shark indicators folder, there is BlackBird. All right, add that down the bottom. And then we need to enable it. And also, let's see here. Yeah, just a little side note here. On one of these NinjaTrader settings, this exit on session close, if you run your NinjaTrader 24/7, Monday through Friday, and just leave NinjaTrader up and running and never turn your computer off, then you probably want to disable this. So this feature here will disable your strategies when the session comes to a close, right? So you might want to read more about this on NinjaTrader's documentation, the exit on session close here. This system here from yesterday is supposed to run in real time, right? So the signal bar is supposed to occur, it's supposed to generate a signal. Yeah, so as soon as the high of the setup bar, has been taken out by the next bar by one tick, then we're supposed to get a signal, a trade signal in real time. So that means that BlackBird needs to run with the calculate set to price change. So that way, the trade signals are being generated in real time on the bar that's forming, right? All right, so there we go. So we got that one change made, and that's all we need. So we can just click OK after that. All right, now we have BlackBird up and running. Let's open up the order settings here, and we'll start putting this together. All right, so the first thing is let's plug in our BloodHound signals here. Let's plug those in. So we'll go to the signal source here and select BloodHound signals, and then open up the menu. And first thing we need to do is load in the template file. So we'll use the ellipses button right here, and that will open up BloodHound for us. And then we can go to File, and there is yesterday's BloodHound workshop files. Let's open that up. As a good practice, good habit to get into is whenever you load in your BloodHound template file, always go to the Logic tab and take a look at your entry signals and make sure it looks like all the leaders are connected up correctly. You want to make sure that you didn't leave it connected up, by accident like this, test while you're testing something out. So, all right, so let me connect this back up the way it is. So that looks good. And, if you're using an exit logic, you should check your exit logic real quick as well. Just take a quick peek. So, all right, everything looks good. So let's click the OK button. And next, let's select our entry signals. There we go. Select it. There's no exit signals, so we'll leave that alone. And we're done. So that was the easy part. And all right, so next, let's set up our entry order. So that's just going to be a market entry order. So our only order set here will be a market entry. All right, and next one down is our profit target. And So we know our profit target here is going to be a 42 tick profit target. So from the quick list, I'm just going to use the 10 tick one here, and then we'll go and modify it. So we'll open up the profit target menu, go to the initial placement, and we can see it says it's a 10 tick profit target. So we'll open that up and then go down here to the offset and switch it over to 42 ticks. So, all right, that's done. Last on the list here is our stop loss. So we're going to start off as a 10 tick stop loss, and then we'll add a break even, and we'll also add, this exit rule here. All right. So most of this is already kind of pre-set up for us as well, right? This break-even rule here. So we can go to our stop loss, and if we go down to trailing menu, we can see there's a 10 tick trailing with a break-even. So we can use this to get us started and then just modify it. So let's select that there. All right. So we already have the 10 tick initial, placement already set up there for us. So if we go to the initial placement, we can see it's set at 10 ticks there for the stop loss. So the break even, we want that to be +2 after 20 ticks in profit. All right. So let's open up the stop loss menu, go to our trailing actions tab, and we'll open this up just a little bit more. So this doesn't mention anything about a trailing stop loss. So we need to go into the 10 tick trailing rule here, and we need to delete that rule so that we can use the little X, the cancel button there, and that deletes the trailing rule. And so now we're just left with the break-even rule. So let's go and edit the name here. So we're going to switch this to a +2, break-even +2 after 20 ticks of profit. The 20 ticks of profit, right, that's one of the trigger rules here. So when do we want this trailing rule to trigger? Well, we want it to trigger after 20 ticks of profit. So we'll go into the triggers, and we can see here we have ticks of movement in a profitable direction set, and it's set to 10 ticks right now. So let's adjust that up to 20 ticks. So there we go. And then the action, well, if we open up the Move To menu, right? So the action is the entry price, right? The entry price is break even. So we want to take that and just edit the offset to 2. So now it's a break even +2 ticks, right? So the entry price is your break even +2 ticks. And there we go. That's all we had to do, was just, right, we just had to adjust for the 20 ticks in profit and the +2 ticks. So now we can go in and add this exit rule here. Okay. So let me open up the stop loss again. So let's add a trailing rule here. Use the Add Trailing Rule button. And so rule B, this will be a flatten. Let's see here. Well, I'm not sure what kind of name they give this, but I'll just say close, versus the EMA 8. All right. So how do we compare the close price to the EMA 8? To do that, we're going to go into the trigger menu here, and the trigger that we want is where is it? Price versus indicator, right? That's exactly what we want to do. We want to compare the close price to the EMA 8. So price, wrong one. There we go. Price versus indicator. That's what we want. Let's stretch this open a little bit. So input A is already defaulted to the closing price. And input B, well, we now need to set that to the EMA 8. So let's open up that menu. And we'll replace the SMA with the EMA. There we go. There's our EMA. And we'll adjust the period to 8, like so. And there we go. And so now we just need to figure out, what comparison do we want to do? What mode do we want to do? So for a long trade, we're looking to see if the close price goes below the EMA 8. So that means input A is going to be less than input B. So let's switch the long mode to A below B. Right? There we go. So A below B means the close below the EMA 8. And so for a short trade, it's going to be the opposite, right? So we want A above B. And there we go. All right. So that's that. That's how we can check if, the price of a bar, goes above or below some indicator value, right? Typically, right? I think most people are going to use moving averages there. So, all right. And so the action, well, the action is we're not going to move our stop loss. We want to exit the trade. So the action, we're going to change that from move the order to flatten position. There we go. Just put that on flatten position. And we're done. So now I didn't discuss the repeats here. So, if you're going to flatten a position, right, there's no repeating that action, right? Once you're flat, you're flat. So you won't have any stop losses anymore. And the same with this break even. So a break even only occurs once, right? You can only move to break even once. So both of these trailing rules are not repeatable. So we just leave them on none. Both trailing rules get left on none, or the repeat. And that is that. So, yeah, we're done. This will be an easy one to test out. Yeah, I'll save this and then we'll do a quick test on the chart here. All right, so I'm going to hit the Save and Close button. And that'll bring up my Save As window. This is using a BloodHound template file. So that's the BloodHound template file being used. So our entry is a market. And our profit target is just a simple 42 tick. Let's see. All right, let's get rid of all of this. And our stop loss, 10 tick with a break even plus 2 at 20 ticks. And a flatten if the close crosses over EMA 8. All right, yeah, I think I have everything in the name there. All right, so because we added a BloodHound template file, you can see BlackBird down there is telling us that we need to reload the chart so that we can get that BloodHound indicator loaded into NinjaTrader, right? So we need NinjaTrader to load that all up. So internally speaking. So let's reload the chart. Next, let's select our logic template here. So if you go to the BloodHound button that has blue text, then we can select the entry signals there. And let's see if we see any. Yeah, there we go. There's a couple of entry signals. And, of course, I don't have any of the indicators loaded up. Yeah, we'll discuss loading up the indicators here in just a moment. Let's just test this out. So, obviously I'm not going to be able to wait for another setup. Who knows when that might occur. So I'm just, let's see here. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to switch data feeds here. Yeah, let me switch data feeds here. So, all right, I'm going to disable the strategy. All right, turn it off in the control center here. And then let me switch data feeds. And let's see, oh, this is a 30-second chart. Just a moment. I'm going to connect back up and then switch this over to a 1-minute chart. All right, there's that. And now I can enable BlackBird again. And let me select the entry. Oops, it's not what I wanted. There we go. Select the entry signals again. And so to test my profit target and stop loss and everything like that, I'm just going to have to hit the go long button there. Right, so there we go. We can see our stop loss, our profit target's way up there at 42 ticks, stop loss at 10 ticks, and now I will move the market up and we'll just test that break even +2. All right, the market's starting to move up. There we go. So it's going to be right in the middle between our profit target and our entry. So there we go, a few more ticks. Yeah, somewhere around there. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's our break even +2. So let's see. If I had an EMA 8 on the chart, I could test that EMA 8 rule here. So let's close out this trade and we will add all the indicators to the chart here. All right. So if I load my chart templates here, I can load in yesterday's chart template from the workshop. And let's see, there we go, there it is. And you'll notice this warning comes up from NinjaTrader. So, right, loading a template will remove all NinjaScript strategies. Right. So, if you do need to load a chart template, to load indicators, just be aware that when you load chart templates, it will strip away all of your strategies off the chart. So always load your chart templates first. Okay, so now I have all the indicators on here, including BloodHound. So I don't need this extra BloodHound. So I'm just going to remove that BloodHound off the chart. There we go. So now I need to go back and add BlackBird. So let's add BlackBird back to our list. And this time I can load the BlackBird template file before loading up BlackBird itself. Right, so there is that template file I just made. Open that up and just need to give it a couple of seconds to load in. There we go. And let's see. All right, we need to switch this to on price changed and enable it. And again, you might want to turn off the exit on session close. All depends. Now we can hit OK. All right, so now I have that EMA 8 on my chart, so we can test that flatten trailing roll in the stop loss. All right, so let me select the entry signals again. There we go. And yeah, we're nowhere close to generating another trade signal. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to generate a trade signal anytime soon. So let's see, I need to move the market down a little bit. Yeah, I need to move the market a little closer to the EMA 8 because we have a really tight, 10 tick stop loss there. Okay, so let's hit go long, and there we go. So as soon as the market went below our EMA 8, and boom, it just flattened out that position. So one thing to note is that this exit rule is going to happen in real time because BlackBird is running in real time, right? So it's not going to wait for that bar to close. Yeah, if you wanted, yeah, so let me back up here. So if I go into the strategies window here, right? If you recall, our BlackBird is running with the calculate on price change. So that means that, this flatten command, it's evaluating the closing price of the bar that's forming and comparing that to the EMA 8 on the bar that's forming. Right. So let's see here. I think, yeah, so we can actually make an adjustment. So if we wanted this stop loss rule here, this flatten command, if we wanted it to wait for the bar to close, then what we can do is go into our trigger here. And so for input A, let's see here, for input A, yeah, we can set our look back period to 2, right? And so that will look back on the bar that's closed. So, right, so basically, yeah, while this bar is forming, it's looking at the bar that's closed. So that effectively is waiting for the bar to close before evaluating, comparing the close price to the EMA 8, right? So again, just, adjusting the look back will determine if we're using the forming bar or the closed bar. So you can just adjust that to 2 if you wanted. So I will leave it at 1 for this. So, all right, well, that does it. That's all there was to do. This was pretty quick and simple here. And if you want this to auto trade, just remember to turn the auto trading on. Yeah, remember to turn the auto trading on button to on.